Yes, good morning. Oh, it's bright. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome. Sorry, I've been rushing around like a blue-ass fly this morning. Oh, and relax. The day after the night before obviously ends in the scoreline that we didn't want. But what I would say would be a very proud performance. I thought we were absolutely excellent on the night. And unfortunately, I think the quality in the end was just a bit too much from the likes of Lee Kang-in, Gonzalo Ramos, Dembele, people like Fabian Ruiz coming onto the pitch. I think it was just all a bit too much. And unfortunately, we just don't have the squad to deal with that right now. But for me, very, very positive for a manager that's been at the club for what, 8 weeks, 7 weeks. Very positive stuff. I think there's a lot of, I think it's gone absolutely mad. Again, I feel like this is a real sad state of affairs that every time we don't win a game now, everyone's going mad. Everyone's just talking about Ange and it's getting really boring. Like I've woken up every comment, oh, Ange. It's like, what has Ange got to do with this? He's got nothing to do with this. This is a squad that desperately needs quality added. But listen, it is what it is. It's, as I said before the game, I don't think that game dictates our season. I don't think that game will tell us where we're going to be. I think that game has told us what we need. I don't think that not winning the Super Cup is this great big thing. Like we've played 15 games to get to it. And I just think we need to just all take a little step back and look at the positives. And I'm going to be trying to concentrate a lot on the positives this morning. I think it was absolutely brilliant that Frank had a game plan. He had a game plan. I thought he executed it brilliantly. And unfortunately, he said in his press conference that Kudus and Paulinho had cramp and that to come off. And unfortunately, the players that are going on, it's just not as good. And I'm not blaming them. It's just the drop in quality is huge. And that's why when people say to me, things like, if we get 2 players in, we can finish 4th. And I say, this is a squad game. And unfortunately, what we're seeing here, we are seeing a lot of, hang on, who's messaged me here with this? We're seeing a lot of fans lose their mind over playing one of the best teams in the world. Just because they haven't played as much in the last month doesn't mean they're not top class players. And surely we all knew at 2-0 it was going to get tougher and tougher and tougher. You could see we were out on our legs. But listen, I thought set pieces excellent, long throws excellent, defending excellently, the work rate they've bought into him. I'm really, really pleased. So for all those that call me negative, I'm really pleased. For me, I think the travesty last night is that Jed Spence did not win man of the match, and they gave it to Dembele, who he basically marked out of the entire game. But hey, it is what it is. Listen, I'm just surprised there's not more fans. People call themselves fans, but don't actually want to get behind it. This manager's been here for this long, and already look at the progress we're making. And I think it's quite a sad state of affairs. To be honest with you, he's been here 6 weeks. Absolutely. I think everyone was expecting us to get battered. Absolutely. Now, listen, before we go on, I must say this. First of all, keep it respectful in the chat. Okay. Now, I just want to say that the racist abuse that it's going to be a small amount. It's going to be a small amount. Oh, by the way, sorry, just really, really quickly. Hang on. It's going to be a small amount, right? But I don't care if it's one person in the world or 1 million or 5 million. It's one too many. Listen, if you don't rate Tell as a footballer, I am somebody who does not rate Tell as a footballer. That's fine. You can say that. But anybody with the the racism. Come on, I'm sure. And I'd love to think that everyone in my comments feels the same about this. I'd love to think that we all condone that. We all don't condone that racism. I'd like to think that we don't condone that behavior in any way, shape, or form. Just utterly terrible. Listen, did the drop-off happen when the likes of Gray and Tell came on? Sure. Am I blaming them for losing the game? No. Do I think they're good enough for Tottenham's first team? No, I don't in any way, shape, or form. But really, racist abuse because he missed a penalty. I mean, Mickey van der Ven's white. He missed a penalty. What difference does it make? The colour of their skin? Come on. Like, it's 2025. It's 2025. We cannot be condoning any form of racism, right? Any form of racism. I just need to get that out there right now. I don't think football fans help as well. There's a lot of fans that say things like, oh, you don't rate this player because he's black, or you don't rate this player because he's Asian, or we have to stop that as a society. We've really got to stop that. And sorry for the rant, because I am going to be very positive in a minute. But we've got to stop that as a society. It's okay to say you don't rate a player that's black or that's white or that's Asian without it being about the color of their skin. It's okay for me to not rate a player. I'm not judging a player on the color of their skin or their sexuality or their religion or their race or their country of origin. Again, we had this with Ange, didn't we? Oh, you don't rate Ange, he's Australian. I mean, first and foremost, he's Greek, but like, it's got nothing to do with that. We've got to get away from that. We've got to get away from that, guys. And I know I'm sure it's no one in my chat. I would love to think that there's no one in my particular viewership that does this, but I just needed to get that out there, because when I saw that this morning, I think to myself, I don't associate with them as Spurs fans in any way, shape, or form. I don't associate that. Call Tell a poor player. Say you don't rate him. Fine. Everyone can do that. You can do that about anyone. But the color of his skin, really? Is anyone in 2025 bothered by the color of somebody else's skin? Is anybody looking at somebody else's color of their skin and going, "Oh, I hate you"? I mean, what are we doing here? Come on. What are we doing here? It's 2025. Surely we've left that all behind, haven't we? As a human race. Surely we've left all that behind. So I'm not going to go on about it. You're allowed to talk about the player. You're allowed to. No one can say you can't talk about a footballer. But you cannot talk about the color of their skin and their religion and their race and their sexuality. You can't be doing all of that. I don't care. Do any of you lot care that I'm Greek? Do any of you care that I've got a massive nose? Look. Do any of you care that I've got a massive nose? Who cares? I am who I am. Tell is who he is. Let's not do this. Spurs fans, I was embarrassed this morning. Sorry, this is a subject close to my heart in terms of, I was embarrassed this morning about that. Yeah, not on. Anyway, let's move on. And listen, as I said, I don't rate Tell as a player, but my thoughts do go out of him when you start seeing that. He's a human being. Just because he's a footballer, just because he's paid well, doesn't mean he should get this sort of nonsense from what is meant to be his own fan base. Yeah, critique the player. Don't critique everything else. It's just silly. Guys, girls, big up. Go on the Greeks. I'm half Greek. I think the half Greek bit is not my nose. My nose and my forehead are definitely Greek. Yeah, again, I've seen people call in for Frank's head. But again, what worried me this morning was when I woke up. Obviously, I wake up to hundreds of comments on after my shows, right? Hundreds of comments. I've seen your nose, Mike. I've seen your nose live. I've met you, remember? I woke up to hundreds of comments, and literally all anyone can talk about is Angepostecoglou. Guys, can we not move on from this? Are we really not proud of what we saw last night? Are we really not looking at that and going, God, we've come on leaps and bounds in that space of time? Not that short space of time. Yes, We're all frustrated. Yes, we were that close. Yes. Could the substitutions have been better? We can argue that. I'm looking at the bench and going, who? Who are you bringing on? Who are you? You look at the bench. Look at the bench. Vuskovic is a baby. What's his name? Byfield? Is it Byfield? I might make. Yeah. He's a baby. Bergvall, still a kid. Gray's a kid. Tell's a kid. I don't know what lots of people were expecting. And then they're going, oh, don't make the substitutions. Well, Frank's already said that Paulinho has played hardly any football, right? Paulinho's played hardly any football. He needs time. And this is the problem. When you bring in players late in the window, you know when people go, oh, the window's not shut, you've got to get legs in, you've got to get minutes into players' legs. And Paulinho has not played a lot of football. And he said he had to come off with cramp. And he also said that Kudus was suffering from cramp. And when you see how hard they worked, I don't doubt it. I listen, I get it. It's frustrating. But surely as a fan base, we look at the improvements. Surely you look at the improvements and go, this is going to put us in good stead. We've got a manager that rocked up with a brand new game plan from last week. When have we seen that? A brand new game plan. And he drew with the best team in the world, 2-2. Yeah, frustrating. Sure, 5 minutes to go. Of course, I get it. Frustrating, of course. But do you know what I saw last night? I saw a well-oiled, well-drilled team that this manager has coached brilliantly behind the scenes. I saw a team that bonded together. I saw the right back, right? And the right winger working together, the left back and the left winger. You know what I mean with the full-backs and the forward. I saw 3 centre-halves in a good line, in good shape, defending brilliantly, blocking everything. I saw a midfield 3 that obviously we know there's no creativity in there, but they worked their off, didn't they? They worked their socks off. Best I've seen Bentancur play. Papa Sarr, by the way, I don't think Papa Sarr's a great footballer, so to speak, but in games like that, absolutely superb. Getting his foot in, winning the ball back, driving forward and giving to other people. There were so many positives. I thought Paulinho did an excellent job. And if you go back and watch the game, watch how many times Paulinho is in the right place at the right time as a number 6. It's absolutely fantastic to see we're being coached. But Phil, if you've got cramp, how do you play? This is the problem. We're not, if you've got cramp, you've got cramp, right? Look. Oh, we'd have finished the article. Nowhere near. We're into that bit of his tenure. But this need to, before the manager has even had a Premier League game, we've got people, but he's not a winner. Oh my gosh. Like, he's had one competitive game. His one competitive game was against the champions of Europe. Like, what are we? When did common sense fly out of the window? Has he won anything in his career? No, not yet. Does it mean he won't? No, of course it doesn't. I was so proud last night of what I saw. I was so proud of what I saw. And you know what it made me think? The bottom line that it made me think was, add some quality to this. You've got the coach. You've got the setup. Add some quality. What can this manager do if you sprinkle stardust in that team? Now, by the way, I don't think we're going to play wing-backs every week. I don't think that at all. But isn't it nice to know? Isn't it nice to know that this manager can go, right, we'll play 3 at the back this week, play 4 at the back this week, we'll go 2 up top this week, 1 up top this. Isn't it nice to know you've got that? We were 1 goal away from that being an amazing night. 1 goal away from it being an amazing night. Listen, I'm really proud of the boys last night. I'm really, really proud of them. That looks like a grip. You know, we were told that the players were down tools because they loved their last manager. It's the opposite. They've not down tools. These players are, you could see they're on board. I thought Van de Ven, I'll be honest, Van de Ven had question marks. How good a defender is he without his pace? Looked superb. Looked absolutely superb. Romero looked superb. Danso, superb. Jed Spence, I mean, how he didn't get mad of the match. How he didn't get mad of the match. You've got to start asking questions, haven't you? How he didn't get mad of the match. He was absolutely amazing. And I agree, Brian. I agree. You know what? If Spurs had bought properly in the window, that's what we should be doing. Problem they've got, Brian, we haven't got any players. You know, like, Brian, so the other week, big up to you, by the way. The other week when people are going to me, oh, we should have kept all these youngsters that have gone out on loan. We don't need youngsters. We don't need more youngsters, do we? We need some pros. We need some pros. Hey, let's hope. We've got to hope that we get some good news. Lots of reports coming out today. More stuff about Eze and Savinho. Look, I don't know. Will we get it done? I don't know. By the way, Nottingham Forest have just bid for Calamawundo. I would have taken him. Nottingham Forest have just bid for Calamawundo. Everyone's moving. We've got to move. We've got to move. We've got to get these payment terms wrapped up. I thought even Richie worked bloody hard. Do I rate him? No, I don't rate him. But God, didn't he work hard? Didn't he do what was needed for the team? Kudos is levels above. Big up Jason. Said, yeah, I guess people didn't want to give Poch an opportunity to prove it. At the moment, Dan, you're right. Without playmakers and wingers, you're right. And didn't he execute it brilliantly? But there's only so much you can do with this group of players. Big up, my man. How you doing, bro? Hope you're well. Reese, do you know what? I've said this all along. A great coach gets you to there. You want to go to there, you need great players. That's the problem, isn't it? At the moment, here, great coach will eventually get you to there. Great players get you to there. And listen to Pep Guardiola. What does Pep Guardiola say? Oh, am I a great coach? I'll let you decide. But I can't do anything without good players. Pep Guardiola. Ferguson always said it. Got to have the right players. Jose says it. You go and listen to all these people. They talk about got to have the right players. And at the moment, I don't know what I didn't know what some of these fans are expecting. People go, oh, we could have attacked them more. I mean, I was surprised we attacked them that much. I'm surprised we've got that many chances without playmakers on the pitch and flying wingers. We need players. We really, really need Eze, Savio. We need footballers like this. We need quick, energetic, skillful, hold on to the ball, beat a man, get shots away. We need some stardust, just a little sprinkle, a big sprinkle. We need it so badly. Phil, I think last night was worse because at least the players that Poch could bring on were senior pros, like the Eric Dyers, like the Llorentes. You know what I mean? Ben Davies, at least they're senior pros. The players we're having to bring on last night are children. But I agree with your sentiment. But I'm really, really pleased. I'm really, really pleased. I know there's a lot of people who just want to bring me down. I get it. There's a lot of people who want to bring me down with the whole oh, Ange. I don't care about that, guys. Tottenham Hotspur are now managed by Postecoglou, Frank. Paul O'Keefe has just said, here you go, I'm going to show you. Paul O'Keefe has just said this. Tottenham are about to put in their first offer for Eberichi Eze. And boy, is it needed. There you go. Can you see that? Spurs now preparing their first official bid for Eberichi Eze. Let's put an alert on this, man. We need it. We absolutely need it. Do you know what? It will be good with those as well. Listen, as I said, I'm not one of these like losing the Super Cup final for me doesn't, as a fan, it doesn't do anything for me for the season. Winning it doesn't change anything for the season. It's always nice to win things, but it's a one-off game. For me, I'm more concerned. I said it before the game. I said it during the game, and I'll say it after the game. I'm more concerned. What are we doing moving forward? What are we doing moving forward as a club? What are we going to give the manager to give him the best opportunity? What are we going to do? What are we going to do? Are we going to sit as a football club, not Levy, as Paratici, as Lang, as Levy, as Vinay, as whoever? Are we going to sit and watch last night and go, yeah, we've got to back this guy? Or are we going to sit there and go, nah, let's just let him work with what he's got? So I'm hoping that these bids for Eze come off. I'm hoping that the Savio bid comes off. It will make our team look very different. It will make us look very different, people. And I'm going to remember a lot of this. I'm going to remember all the people that are going out of their way to not want to back Thomas Frank and what he's trying to coach into these players. I'm going to remember this because at the moment we are acting like a bunch of schoolgirls. We really are. It's all very, very silly. Manager doesn't win trophy in first competitive game. He's rubbish. He's not a winner. What are we doing? When did these people should never ever work for professional football clubs because they would have no concept of what building something means, no concept of what coaching is needed, no concept of where this manager has taken us from last year to where he needs to take us to this year. So I'm so happy. I'm so happy at what we're seeing, but not so happy with the board and what they're doing. If we can get this done, does it paper over the fact it should have been done? Look, absolutely, Mike. But right now, we are where we are, right? We are where we are. Right now, you know what? Do you know the confusing thing about the Spurs fan base, Mike? Is even if we go and get Eze, even if we go and get Savinho, the first thing that fans will think of is going, you said and you said and you said that we wouldn't sign Eze. You said this, and shouldn't it be get him in? Oh my gosh, weight off the shoulders. But for some reason, we just don't do it. For some reason, we just don't do it. Everyone seems to want to score points. It's more important. I told you I don't rate Frank. Look, he couldn't win. It's more important that than actually going, you know what? Look at the progression made in that space of time. I thought we were excellent last night, guys. I'll do some super chats, then we'll talk about the actual game. And absolutely, Maximum. He was immense last night. He was immense. I think Danso goes under the radar. I really do think. I'm just sorry. I've got loads of things coming in. Yeah. So, oh God, hang on. What's this one? Spurs now preparing bids. Yes. Look, I'm a fan of Give people a chance. Give people a chance. This guy hasn't even started the season yet. And already people want to rip into him. I've seen it. I'll speak with Stella about it tonight. We were arguing all last night on text. I just don't understand. I don't understand how fans that clearly understand football are not looking at this and going, this guy's got a big job, but what a good positive step that was. Instead, we're so worried about, did he do that on game one, that we're not actually looking at what are the baby steps moving forward? What is he putting in place? Listen, it's not just him, by the way. God, so many couldn't wait to get into Frank last night. So many. By the way, how many people, including me, I said 2-0 at first that we'd lose. How many people were going 4-0, 5-0? Those same people then going, Frank's a loser after drawing and losing on penalties. It's utterly, utterly crazy. But let me send this link to myself, and then I'm going to do the super chats, guys. Here we go. Let me super chats. There we go. Right. Here we go. Let's do the super chats. Thank you very much. You're all very, very generous this morning. And listen, I'm not going to let it dampen my mood. I'm positive from what I've seen. I'm positive that we made the right hire. This is a top coach. Big up, Liston. Thank you very much, buddy. I said, so proud of the boys. Best game since the Poch days. Agreed. With Eze and Savino, we'd have won that game 100%. Hopefully. Brilliant coaching from Frank. Yeah, I think it was very, very good. Hang on. Somebody's just said, keep phone open. Hang on 1 second. Right. Okay. So Romano. Right. So hang on. I'll come back to this. Listen, I'm not going anywhere. I'm going to come back to this. People are going to want to see what Fabrizio Romano is saying. And it's very much what we were talking about yesterday. No news yesterday, but today it looks like the news is going to come thick and fast. Right. Here we go. Let's add that to the stage. There you go. So Fabrizio Romano has said Tottenham are prepared to open formal talks with Crystal Palace for Eberechi Eze. The plan to return to the table reported 2 days ago, 100% confirmed, and also confirmed that Eze is keen on the move to Tottenham if the two clubs can agree a fee. Absolutely big up Ash. Thanks for that. Whenever I see Ash is giving me a missed call, it means something's happened. Big up to you, Ash. Appreciate that. And then Ben Jacobs as well, I believe, has given some more meat on those bones. Let me have a look. Ben Jacobs. Here we go. As it's Spurs set to place an opening bid for Eberechi Eze. Tottenham moving fast to avoid the Arsenal counter. Optimism, Eze prepared to join with personal terms, not a problem. Again, all these people that say we don't pay the wages have never been a problem and will never be a problem. New push for Eze after James Maddison ACL. More on @TalkSport shortly. Guys, girls, give me your first feelings. I'm going to do some super chats. Give me your feelings, and then I'll get to them at the end. And hopefully we can all stop bashing the manager. Hopefully we can. I'm sure the same fans will, but it is what it is. Big up. Oh, hang on. Let me come back to that one. So Liston, thank you very much. Yeah, brilliant coaching. I think he's a top coach, Frank. I really do. It's why I wanted him. I've tied myself to that mast, if you will. And I truly believe that if people just have that bit of patience, we will see the rewards. I think he's a great coach. So disrespected by so many fans. Big up to you, Liston. Thank you very much. Big up to Rock Spurs. So yesterday's performance highlighted Frank's tactical brilliance. It will be a complete failure if Levy not to back another manager as he did with Poch. Well, bidding for Eze hopefully will show that Levy is doing that. Come on, Levy. I want to have a season where we don't talk about Daniel Levy. Please, Daniel Levy, make it possible. Big up to you, Rock Spurs. Really appreciate you, my man. Very generous indeed. Big up to the Big D. How you doing, bro? I said I was gutted, but we did well considering the players are at our disposal. I'm happy we showed we can give a team of PSG caliber a game. Positives are Spence and Kudus, and obviously Frank. Mate, listen, I thought Kudus and Spence were absolutely fantastic. I thought Kudus and Spence were absolutely fantastic. I thought absolutely fantastic. brilliant. Kudus is so strong, so powerful, so skillful, drives forward with the ball, brings others into the game. Really, really, really happy we signed Kudus. We've just got to compliment him. Imagine Kudus with Eze linking up together, and then you've got Savio on that side, and they're linking up. Oh my gosh. Should all get us excited, shouldn't it? Big up to the Big D. Thank you very much. Big up to Ben Williams, who's become a YouTube member. Ben, how are we doing? And is that Sweep? Is that Sweep from Sooty and Sweep? God, I haven't seen Sooty and well, I'd be worrying if I'd seen Sooty and Sweep. But big up to you. Thank you for becoming a member. There will be a YouTube member only show. I'm not sure when. I was going to make it Friday, but I've got quite a full-on day. I'll try and squeeze it in, but thank you very much. Really appreciate that. This is for Tank. Frank the Tank, not my Frank. Oh, my Frank. Look, my Frank will always be with us. Frank, listen, I thought he was excellent, didn't you, Harris? I think I saw a message from you last night. I thought he was excellent. I really did. I thought, you know, that's fine lines in football. If that goal doesn't go in at the end, all of a sudden, Frank's a hero that's won the Super Cup. As it is, Spurs fans have turned on a sixpence because we lost a penalty shootout. Madness, absolutely madness. Big up, Harris. Really appreciate you. Big up D&B forever with a super sticker. Always in here, my man. Thank you very much. Really appreciate you, dude. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Paul Watkins said, honestly, Savva, boys did us proud. The togetherness was a delight to see. Saar and Spence. Yeah, I thought Saar was excellent. I think this is the ideal game for Papa Saar. A game where you're not going to have a lot of the ball. You want to get a player in the midfield that gets in and amongst it, gets his foot in, gets his toe in to nick the ball, pressing. He's perfect for that type of game. Is he perfect for a possession passing-based game? I don't think so, but that's fine. Different players for different tactics. Big up to you, Paul. Really appreciate it, my man. Thank you very much. Here he is. Here's my man, Andrew Kiddle from down the road to me. Said, Frank has come in. Andrew, let's go for a beer. Let's have a beer, mate. Frank has come into this team and proven he can make us better. And the game last night proved it. Boom. Sorry, when I check my phone, by the way, is that everyone is sending me O'Keefe stuff and Romano stuff. And so forgive me, I'm just trying to keep you guys as updated as I'm trying to keep updated. Big up to you. And fans need to stop the abuse towards Tell. Hashtag no to racism. Absolutely. Hashtag no to racism. It shouldn't even be a question. Big up to you. Really appreciate that. Thank you very much, Andrew Kiddle. Really appreciate you, my man. Big up to S19991. So yes, Savva, loving the show recently. Thank you very much. Frank is at the wheel. He's driving us, isn't he? Frank's cruising. One arm out the window. He's cruising. Let's get him, Savinho and Eze. What about Samu from Porto? I would take Samu from Porto. Big, strong, quick, powerful, scores goals. I'd take Samu from Porto. Yeah, like him. Really like him. Thank you very much. Really appreciate that. Thank you very much. George has said your after-match thoughts, Savva, were 100% spot on. Mate, listen, I just think that when people stop that and actually start looking in front of them, you start to see things. Unfortunately, if there's a wall in front of you and you don't step to the side to look around the wall, you're not going to see positives. And the positives are this manager is a very, 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 very good coach that is very well respected for a reason. Big up to each and every one of you inside. Thank you very much, George. Appreciate you. Marianne, very, very generous, has said, I feared we would lose 3-0. Yeah, I thought 2-0. Then shamelessly last minute changed my mind to 1-1 on penalties. And then I said Romero would score the winning penalty, but I wasn't quite right. He said, so proud. Marianne said, so proud of the boys and Frank. They were playing like world beaters. A pity the substitutes are not good enough. Listen, football, as we all know, is a squad game. And this is why when people keep saying the 11, that's fine, but you've got to have a squad if you want to compete. When people are going, oh, Chelsea are well greedy with their players. Yeah, because Chelsea want a squad. Chelsea want a squad. Chelsea want a squad. 1 second. Who sent me this? Oh, sorry. My friend's dog passed away yesterday. Oh, sorry, my friend's dog passed away yesterday, and really, really sad to see. 14 years of age. Oh, bless. When you lose a pet, it's absolutely horrible. Look, let me get to this. Absolutely, I completely agree. I completely agree. Look at City. People got City got loads of players. Yes, they want a squad. Chelsea. Yep. Liverpool. How many players do they need? Squad. Absolutely. Big up, Marianne. Thank you very much. Machina Joe, that is a huge donation. $100, 100 Australian dollars. That is absolutely ridiculously generous of you. Thank you very much, Machina Joe. This is from an Everton fan. Thank you very much. I really do appreciate you. Thank you. I don't know what to say. I'm always humbled when people like you pay into my business. I'm really humbled. So thank you very much. And Machina Joe, if that doesn't make it better, which it does, thank you very much. Really appreciate you. I have got a gig on Tuesday working for a company. I can't tell you who, working for a gambling company who are starting to put out football content. And I'll be debating a Man City fan. So that should be fun. That's on Tuesday. And I'm not sure when that will be going live, but there you go. Thank you, Machina Joe. Much love. You're always in here. You're always respectful. I always try to get to as many of your comments as possible. Thank you very much. And if Machina Joe can do that, you guys can smash the like button. There's 1,054 of you in here, 261 likes, 1 in 4. Let's smash that button, please. Big up to you, Machina Joe. Really do appreciate that. The Big Benji, how you doing, brother? Said Frank has done an amazing job to get that level of performance. But does he take blame for the subs? Could things have been different with Johnson and Biss? Bissouma wasn't there, and I'm not sure how Johnson would have changed the goals going. I just don't understand. Like, Benji, are we now going to do that thing that because Tell didn't play well, that we're now going to suddenly say that Johnson is a good player? It wasn't as though Tell missed any chances or anything. I'm not sure. I'm not sure where we're going with that. I feel like we're just trying to find reasons. For me, are the players coming on good enough? No. Are they the reason we lost the game? I don't know. By the way, rumours this morning that Danny Olmo is on the transfer market. Just rumours. I don't know. Big up to you, Benji. Really appreciate you, my man. Another super chat from Marianne. You put this in already, Marianne. You've put it in twice. But thank you very much. Let me know if you need me to send you a $5 back or however much this is in English money back. You've put this in twice. Thank you very much. Very generous. Paul Langley. Thank you, Paul. I said disgusted at the treatment Tell received. I don't rate him as a footballer, but I have no problems with as a human. Do better. Perfect. Judging. People can judge me as a YouTuber. Don't judge the color of my skin or my hair or, I don't know, whatever you want to judge me for. Judge me as a YouTuber. I judge him as a footballer. That's fine. He'll know that. But what he doesn't deserve is the racism. Doesn't deserve the racism. Look, it is what it is. It is what it is. And unfortunately, the world needs to change. Thank you very much, Paul. Appreciate that. Big up to Mark Taylor. Very generous as always. What did you think of Romero as captain? I think it's too early to say. I think he's the obvious choice for captain. For me, I do think there are times where he needs to slightly calm down, and instead of getting in people's faces, he needs to calm situations down. But he's Argentinian. He's fiery. They've got that South American fire in them, haven't they? So, look, we'll see as the season goes on, but I've got no problems with it. I just want the man to sign a new contract now. Get consistent, stay fit, sign the contract. Big up to you, Mark. And Nick, thank you very much. Said you can tell now we have a proper coach. Some so-called supporters don't deserve him. Agreed. There'll be a few players that really kick on under Frank. Agreed. Top coach. If I haven't said it once, I'll say it again. Big up, Nick. Thank you very much. Thank you to all of you. Really appreciate that. And thank you for smashing the like button. You know, when you get a few... hang on. It says I'm backstage. No. Oh, hang on. I might have sent the wrong link to people. 1 second. StreamYard. Boom, boom, boom. Hang on. Let's... 1 second. Bear with me 1 second. I think I've sent the wrong link to people. Right. Yeah, I've sent the wrong link to people. If you are the two people who I've sent the link to, I'm so sorry. I sent you last night. Sorry. I've had a mare. I've had a mare. Here's Chris, another Ange fan. You poured 1,000 hours into Ange out before he won his first Euro Trophy in 4 decades. Remember that bit? Yes. But I also, it wasn't, it was hours and hours of me watching my club lose week in, week out, Chris. So do you know what I mean? Listen, please follow him, Chris. As we all know, you only came over to support Spurs because of Ange. Feel free to follow him out the door. Honestly, we won't miss you. E1 Sun has said, personally think that was our best performance since Poch. Listen, I thought it was excellent. I thought it was absolutely excellent. Where are we? Tottenham working on a new contract for Romero, according to some reports. We'll see. So I'm just getting news sent to me every minute of the day. Honestly, I thought being a YouTuber, you'd have loads of free time. Absolutely not. Honestly, I never get free time. Never, ever get free time. After this, I'm on with Never a Foul. And then I've got a few bits to do personally. Then I've got to make a video. And then I've got to do a live tonight for the Spurs 5. Robert said, this must be the first time that I've agreed with everything Savva said so far. So yesterday we were hoping for a 2-0 defeat at best. Let's be proud of what Frank has achieved in a short period. Agree with you. Agreed. Absolutely agreed. Big up, Philly. I'll come to you in 1 second, my man. Aris, love Pavlidis. I'd take Pavlidis. Really good goal scorer. That boy, as my mate says, he knows how to put the biscuit in the basket. I've always loved that saying, the biscuit in the basket. Philly, welcome. Before I bring you in, I've got one more super chat that's just come through. Big up to Emma out there on T-side. Thank you very much, Emma. Always in here with the super stickers. Really appreciate you, my friend. Thank you. Really, really thank you. And by the way, guys and girls, shamelessly, I mean, we are flying on the channel at the moment. We are 40 subscribers away from 21,500. We only hit 21,000 2 days ago. So if you haven't subscribed, the link is in the chat. Please do. And it is pinned. Let me double check. It is pinned. So please do that. Thank you very much. Philly, how are you, sir? Are you well?
I'm good, mate. I'm just taking it easy. You know, I've had a nice rest and a relaxation from Tottenham for a little while, and I'm just regenerating and coming back to some of myself again. But performances like last night were brilliant to watch, mate. The team was set up well. They started off well. And before people get on Frank's back, he's only been there for about a month or a month and a bit, yeah? And it's going to take the players time to adjust to his tactics, yeah, and his way of playing. To chase down the game that they did last night, yeah, to chase down Paris Saint-Germain takes a lot of energy. And for 70 minutes, yeah, Tottenham did that well. Towards the end of the game, yeah, they dropped back, but that's natural. They dropped back here and invited PSG to come on to us last night. And that's when PSG scored their 2 goals. Now, I'm not going to criticize Frank for that, because as the team get used to him, yeah, right, they will adjust to his tactics, yeah, be able to last the 90 minutes, which is why I'm not critical of him. And I suggest any fan, yeah, just to sit back and just wait till the players get used to it, because coaching takes time. To coach a player, yeah, to give him his instructions takes time. And this is why it's always good to buy players early, yeah, to give them that chance that the players that we have and the new players can have time to integrate with each other and learn each other's game.
Mate, absolutely. And by the way, when it says they're preparing a bid, that means that the bid's being sent. That means that the bid is being sent. Don't read too much into the word preparing. The bid is being sent. This is a good thing. This is a very good thing. However, you know what's going to happen? The bid won't be what they want, first of all, and then everyone's going to lose their mind because the bid isn't what they want. I don't expect this to be wrapped up quickly, but we'll come to that in a minute. By the way, Ben, Paulinho is a hell of a player. I thought yesterday in the number 6 role, he showed exactly why every club needs a number 6. And before I bring Manny in, you're right, Philly, you're absolutely right. I think that a lot of people don't understand coaching isn't something that happens overnight, over a month, over 2 months. Repetition, coaching drills, building relationships, building partnerships. People go, oh, we let them in the last few minutes. That takes time to coach that out of players, to coach the mindset, to get them switched on. That takes time. But we've been so hurt, Philly, that people expect that Frank's going to come in and overnight, ta-da, we're a top 4 team. A bit impatient, isn't it?
It is, and then you have to factor in there. A lot of these players haven't been coached properly for the last 2 years. There's been no structure in the club for the last 2 years. So these players are having to get used to Frank's tactics and his coaching methods. And like I say, he's only been there about a month. So what were fans actually expecting? He's not going to work. He's not a magician. He's not going to pull off miracles. And that's what fans have to understand. He's not a magician. No manager is a magician. And it's that Taylor Rumpelstiltskin, man. No person can turn straw into gold by it. It's just not happening. So at the end of the day, you can only coach what you've got there, and that, like I say, that takes time to implement. And last night, I hope people saw that Sarr, is actually an 8. That's why he's a box-to-box midfielder. He's got the engine on him to play that role as a box-to-box midfielder. That's what I want to see him play. But he's had none of that for the last 2 years. It's been just go out there and play football.
Yeah, just go out and run around a bit.
Just run around a bit. That's it. So now we're going to see him have some structure. Let's see how good he is as a player. That's what I want to see.
Do you know what I think? I'll bring let me bring Manny in here. I think the thing that I've said for a long time, Manny, is I don't ever look at Sarr and go, what an amazing footballer he is. Like, i.e., technical footwork, passing, skill. But I do feel that there's a place for him in games like that where you're going to concede possession. He's perfect for that midfield nuisance, fly around shit kind of.
He was everywhere.
Always on everything. He's perfect,
He
right?
was everywhere yesterday. Can you guys hear me, by the way?
Yeah, man. Good morning to you.
Morning, mate. Thanks for having me. He was absolutely everywhere. Absolutely everywhere. And what a performance. Palhinha, Bentancur, like that 20, 30-yard run that he made from one side of the pitch to the other to block it. Like yesterday, basically. I've not been following because I watched it late, so I didn't see anything. I was literally 2-0 up. Obviously, everyone had already finished watching it. I was thinking, I can't believe this. We're winning this game, and then at the very end, everything. I understood why my mentions were very, very quiet from that perspective. But I looked at the game yesterday, and I only saw positives. I only saw positives. I can't believe that, because I was trying to catch up a little bit on a few shows, and I was thinking, I think people need to realize the reason why the other fans, the rival fans, are bantering Spurs and saying Spursy is because they've now seen how not bad we are in comparison to what they were expecting us to be going forward. They are breathing a sigh of relief that we actually didn't win. I'm looking at the game yesterday and I'm thinking, these players have actually bought into what Frank is selling them, because they all run their socks off on that pitch, and up until 80 minutes, PSG had no answer. They had no answer from top to bottom. We were tactically astute. Like, I was actually proud of the players and quite gutted for Frank, to be completely honest, because I was thinking, we are doing, but and with regards to us conceding those 2 goals and the whole situation about Tell coming on and Gray coming on, this is how Frank learns. I'm sorry to say to people, I'm sorry to break it to people, this is how he learns who he can trust under pressure and who he can't trust under pressure, because you can't replicate that level of pressure in a training game. So now he's going to look at it and say, okay, you know what, so when the stakes are that high, at the moment as we speak, I can't rely on you, Gray, I can't rely on you, Tell. And it's something that he will learn. And in my opinion, I think the board are also seeing that and thinking, okay, cool, well, we need to get him something, which is why you're already seeing the links to Eze already saying that we're preparing the first bid. Like, I reckon they probably looked at him and thought, you know what, we've got something here. We've got something here. And this is coming because I was listening to Dan yesterday on your show, Savva. But this is coming from, I don't think loads of Anjin fans, well, the majority of Anjin fans that I know anyway, have looked at yesterday and think, you know what, I'm on board with this. I really, really want this to work out because he's shown something. And that's why I said, literally after we hired him, I was saying that Frank, whether people like it or not, will have to show the players and will have to show the fans that there's really something to buy into. And in my opinion, yesterday, from what I saw, I was impressed. I was impressed, and that's how we need to. That's how we need to go on. That's how we need to go on. Sorry for waffling, but that's my view.
No, mate. Listen, when people come onto my show and talk for a little bit, it means I can get a few minutes rest, which is lovely. Look, I think you're right, Manny. I think what we're seeing now is we're living in a hyperbolic state of fandom. And what I mean by that is every game, you know, we lost to Bayern Munich. Oh my God, Frank out. This is shit. This is terrible. He's not coached them. A week later, you see a completely different performance where we're all going, oh, look how good this is. But because we lose on penalties, imagine we didn't lose on penalties. This morning, no one's having a meltdown.
Yeah.
Right? So because of 2 penalty kicks, I'm not blaming them. Penalties happen, right? Van de Ven and Tell, both for me, really poor penalties. But because we missed 2 penalties, oh, it's shocking, terrible. He can't coach. It's like, how have we just, Philly, we've just dismissed 96 minutes of what was superb defensive play, superb midfield structure, Paulinho doing what every club needs a number 6 to do, putting out fires, getting in. And
what was it? 2 goals? Is it 2 games in 6 months he's had, Paulinho? Because I'm sure he hasn't played for quite a long time yet. So to come back,
had 90 minutes since apparently February, and I think he had something like 45 minutes in April, and then so he's had 45 minutes in April. He had 45 minutes against Bayern Munich last week, and then last night. And people are going, why did Frank take him off? Well, fitness. You got, you know, people going, why did Solanke come on? Solanke's our number 1 striker who needs minutes before the season. Like, people don't just engage a little bit.
Yeah. Sorry to say, actually, on that, right? On that as well, I'm thinking, in my opinion, and this is my opinion, obviously I want to win the Super Cup, right? But with regards to that specific situation, you can't play your entire 11 players for the entire 90 minutes, risk an injury, and they're out of the season. It makes 0 sense to me. Like, people need to look at the bigger picture with regards to these things. Look at the bigger picture. Look how well we were structured from the point. Look how much we roughed them up. Right? This is a team that has got guts at the moment. A team.
Last warning, Ram. Last warning. I don't know what you keep talking about. I don't have kids. You keep posting about my kids.
That's weird.
Stop. It's weird now.
I didn't even realize that was what he said.
First one, weird. Second one, really weird. One more, you're gone. Cheers. Sorry, Manny. Sorry.
No, but that is a team that roughed PSG up. They I actually, fair enough. By the way, I couldn't believe, in my opinion, again, the disrespect in the lineup that PSG had towards us. Right? Had Barcola, Dembele, Desiree Doué, and Kvaratskhelia all on one pitch, because they must have watched our game against Bayern and thought, we'll do these guys. We'll just get these guys off, bop them off the pitch. And that did not happen. Then secondly, our set piece being dangerous on set pieces and being dangerous on throw-ins. Like, look at the bigger picture. Look how the guys literally run themselves to the ground for Thomas Frank, and understand that if they were to replicate this level of commitment, right, regardless of team structure, week in, week out, we are in for a good season, guys. We're in for a better season than many people thought. And that's the reason why these rival fans are bantering because they're scared of that situation. They thought we will be lingering in the 12th position, and I've always believed we're not going to. But
Yeah,
over to you, Board. By the way, over to you, Board.
absolutely.
You
Sorry,
watch
Finny,
that, yeah.
I was just laughing at the thought of people saying that Brennan Johnson's very good defensively and tracking back. Honestly, I love how we're just creating narratives now that aren't true because Tell played. I don't think it would have made any difference last night, Philly, if Johnson had come on instead of Tell. I don't know. Listen, as much as I don't rate Tell, he wasn't involved in either of the goals. I'm not really sure. I know it's a drop off, but I feel like we're putting a lot of blame on him and Gray, and I don't rate either of them for the goals. Were either of them anything to do with the goals?
Right, first and foremost, yeah, my problem with Taylor has always been his lack of composure. And I said this to you multiple times. It's the lack of composure that he has in the area, which is why I was actually surprised that he had the guts to get up there and take a penalty. Because I've always said that his composure in the area is shocking. We saw that against Wolves last season when he blazed the ball over the bar from 2 yards out. So I've always said there that his lack of composure was worrying. When he stepped up here, I didn't expect him to score, but then I wouldn't put the pressure on him because, like you say, he's 19 and he's still learning. And people, please don't be disrespectful about the colour of his skin because that's got nothing to do with his ability as a football player. And it's the same with any walk of life. Yeah, don't judge someone based on the colour of their skin. Yeah, it has zero effect here on their ability to do a job. So please don't use racism. Yeah, because it's just not needed, right? But he had zero effect on the goals that PSG scored. The whole team, dropped back, but that's because they put so much into the match earlier in the game. They put so much into the match and naturally dropped back because, unfortunately, you can't do that kind of intensity for 90 minutes, especially not at the beginning of a manager's tenure because he hasn't trained. He's barely got his foot in the door, really. In coaching terms, he's barely got his foot in the door. So we'll not blame Tell and Gray. But this is another reason why, Savva, I say they have to go out on loan. They have to go out on loan and try and get them minutes. And this is why I've said about Archie Gray, he needs to go out on loan. Tell won't go on loan because Tell will be our left-wing option. But then this also leads to another factor of why are Spurs spending 40 million on talent and then spending an extra 60, 70 million on Savino in the same position, in the same window? Because that Tell money could have been used to fix other positions in the team because we need a 10. And we also desperately, and I'm going to say this to the 100 millionth time, we need a 9 that can put the ball in the back of the net. Or like you say, put the bread in the biscuit tin, brother. We need that player, dude. Because I have zero faith in Solanke and I have zero faith in the Pigeon to put the ball in the back of the net, mate. Every time they're going on goal, I feel they're going to miss.
I have to say, by the way, you're spot on. I have had a mare because I was one of the people who didn't want Osimhen because he couldn't get he couldn't trap the ball. I watched Osimhen's first game in the Turkish league and I was thinking I just had flashback of Solanke and Richie. And I was thinking, flipping now, mate, like this guy's like level and shoulders above what we
Manny,
have.
Don't you think people are either a goal scorer or they're not? Like,
yes.
Like there are players that have purple patches and decent seasons, but a true goal scorer is a true goal scorer. Osimhen, wildly frustrating. When he's through on goal, I'm putting my money on him over any of ours. Muani is another one. I like the lad, by the way, that Forest have just put in a bid for, Calamundo in France. They've just put him in.
Is he from Lille?
Rennes, isn't he?
Rennes. Yeah.
I think it's Rennes. I think I massively agree with Philly on this. Look, I think both our centre forwards offer the same thing. They're both hardworking, both honest, both press, both give you that awkward big man vibe, but none of them are that. You know, there was a couple of times yesterday where the ball was fed through to Solanke, to Richarlison, and you're thinking a top striker just shuffles it out his feet and gets a shot away. And I think he did once, which was easy. I mean, we're saying it was a good save. I mean, it was right at Chevalier. He should have tipped it over, and he did. But a couple of occasions where he went through, he just fell over. He's not the composure that, we just need better.
I love Richie, and in the sense of as a person, right? And I think when the moment I realized that he wasn't going anywhere was when I was watching one of the training videos and he was laughing. He was absolutely loving life, and I realized this guy ain't going nowhere, guys. But spot on. A forward who traps the ball and takes you on either one-on-one or even your Watkins special, which is drag it to the right and then place it in the bottom left, like he did against in the world, was it the Euros against one, I can't remember, in
Against
the
Holland,
semi-final.
wasn't it?
But he just I'm like, but yeah, there's something which obviously that is something which I've not I had not come to terms with until literally just yesterday. We might need a number 9 at some point. We definitely do, because as you said, you either have it or even an option, right? Even an option of someone who offers something slightly different to what we have, because you can clearly see that Frank, it's very difficult for opposing managers to guess what Frank is going to do, because we were there, we watched it us against Bayern, and all of a sudden he's playing 3 at the back, 2 wing backs. Like, he could easily, bringing in Savinho could easily have a more, what's it called, more attacking wing backs than actually, your Porro and your Jet Spence. Like, there is so much that he can do that, in my opinion, maybe one thing at a time. Maybe we're asking too much of our board at the moment. But if you were to bring in Eze and Savinho, I can stomach having Solanke for one more season. But I think at some point we will definitely need to upgrade that.
Can we talk about this? I completely agree. Danso. Every time I watch Danso play for Tottenham, I don't think he lets us down. He's an honest, hard-working centre-half who is absolutely magnificent in the air, by the way. Does he get the credit he deserves, Philly?
I don't think so. I don't think so. And you know what? The way that we set up with 3 at the back here, I would always play him as the centre of the back 3 anyway, because like you say, he's good in the air, right? And then he's got the Van de Ven on the left hand side and Romero on the right hand side. So he doesn't have to. They can do the running for him because he hasn't got that much speed. So they can do the running for him, allowing him to be able to just be the natural defender that we need him to be. And do you know who else I'm looking forward to, Savva? I'm going to say this right now. When Jack Goosting comes back, I think that would suit him as well. And the way that he defends, I think sitting in the middle of a back 3 suits him as well. But Danso, is a very, very good player. And I've watched him play for Switzerland in the past. And I do like the way he defends. He's a very solid defender.
Yeah, I agree.
Where was he playing yesterday? Sorry, where was he even playing yesterday? Like, every time we pressed, I saw him near and next to PSG's box. Like,
Yeah,
absolutely loved it. Absolutely loved it. He is solid. His throw-ins are an additional weapon into our arsenal. And yeah, go on.
No, so I was just going to say, see, this is the worry for me. This is the worry for me, right? Is that people are not understanding. Look at our squad, and we think 2 players suddenly takes us above either Arsenal, Liverpool, City, or Chelsea. This is where we're not realizing this is a squad game. We need those 2 to go in to try and complete an 11. And by completing an 11, I still think we need a ball-playing midfielder and a striker. But suddenly 2 players to leapfrog one of the top 4 guys, I can't see it. I love Eze. I love Savinho, but that's a hell of a lot of pressure.
I think it's a big ask in terms of top 4, right? And the reason why I'm saying it is because obviously Liverpool are strengthened; they're going to be up there. Arsenal are going to Arsenal. They regardless of whether people like it or not. City, an angry Pep. You don't want an angry Pep. I don't think he falters 2 seasons in a row. And Chelsea are looking great. Obviously, what people would say though about Chelsea, Savva, is the fact that they look good in tournament-like games, right? Cup-like games. So are they going to be able to do that 38 games in the season? They look like they will. So I think the top 4 will probably be a bit of an ask, but I think that fifth spot is for anyone to have a run at. To be completely honest,
Manny, I'm gonna take this from you here. With Chelsea, yeah, Arsenal, Man City, and Liverpool, yeah, they're a different galaxy away from us, man. We are nowhere near them, and this was my concern from before, because I feel under this board here. This is one of my recent pieces here with this board here. All right. I feel like we've dropped behind Aston Villa and we've dropped behind Newcastle in terms of level of ambition as well. And that is where Tottenham should be. It's along with the Aston Villas and the Newcastle. And the fact that Tottenham haven't been in that market with them, yeah, it's been my concern all along. And there's been a concern of you can get there, but you have to kick on. You can't just. If we stand still, yeah, as a football club, and we just bring in the likes of Tell, because Tell wouldn't get into Aston Villa's team, he wouldn't not get into Newcastle's team. So if you're players here that won't get into their team, right? Why are you sorry about that?
I was wondering who that was.
I was like, what?
I thought Savva had a man there.
I was like, sorry, what's happening? It sounded like there was about to be like a news broadcast come through or something. That was happening. I mean, Phil, stop this. Phil, you're the same guy that kept telling everyone that Tell was going to be a good signing. And Phil, you've got, look, I don't want to have silly, cheeky bets. I don't want to bet against Spurs, but I don't understand how we're all looking and going, this board needs to do loads more. We need loads of players in. And then we think that 2 signings suddenly takes over Chelsea, City, Liverpool, or Arsenal. All right, there's the question, Phil. Which one of those top 4 does our squad suddenly overtake with Eze and Savinho, who are brilliant footballers, right? But that still means that if both of them got injured for a little bit, we're then back to the Tells and the Odegaards and the Richies. So who is it you think we're overtaking? In anyone in the chat, tell me if I'm mad. If we get those 2, does anyone really think we're going to finish 4th? And who do we overtake? I'll ask you 2 guys. Who do we overtake to possibly finish 4th?
I can't see top 4. Like, it's football, guys. It's football. Anything can happen, right? But in terms of where we're at, I can't see it. I genuinely, from my perspective, I genuinely think that we have, if we get those 2, we can put our name in the conversation for that 5th spot. And the only reason why I really, really think that is purely because of the fact that as I tuned into your stream somewhere, and I heard that moan for like 2 hours. But anyways, I do genuinely think that Villa and Newcastle are being really, really hamstrung by the PSR situation, which might allow us to put ourselves in that conversation. But other than that, and also, sorry, the other fact is the fact that I genuinely think that looking at how the players have bought into what Frank's ideas are, that could also be a factor. But obviously, from where I'm standing, you wouldn't have that expectation on him. But if it does happen, obviously you'd be very happy. You'd be very happy.
Philly, look, you've met the other Phil. I mean, so suddenly now, with adding 2 players into this squad and no squad depth, we're saying that Chelsea, who are going to have... Listen to this, right? Chelsea's options, this is just going forward, are Esteval, who can play, by the way. Esteval, Neto, Cole Palmer. It's going to be Xavi Simons, right? Garnacho, Bino Gittins, Yao Pedro, Liam Delap. At the moment, Nicholas Jackson. Their midfield is going to be Lavia, Caicedo, Enzo Fernandez. Well, let's be fair. Cole Palmer can't play in the 10 today. Xavi Simons, you're up. Like, what are we... What? I don't know. I genuinely don't know what happened to common sense. Like, when...
Why are you trying to get Phil depressed?
I just don't get it. I
Man,
don't get
I
it.
don't understand it. I can't lie, you know. I can't. I don't understand it either. I don't understand where this is. How many points did Chelsea finish above Spurs last season? How many points did Arsenal finish above Spurs last season? And all of a sudden, two players here are going to change it so that we catch. Not only do we catch up the points that we were behind them last season, but we're
Overtake them.
going to go past them this season as well. Yeah, that's not happening.
So you're talking about 40 odd points, right? To finish above them. So we're talking about what's 40 odd points. So 10 wins is 30. So 13 wins are 30. We're talking about an extra 14 wins. Like, for me, this is the problem. People like Phil are going to put so much expectation on Frank. It's unreal. For me, the first thing I think we need to do if we get in Savio and Eze is say, right, the top four for me is the top four. If we get it by hook or crook, amazing. But realistically, let's look at being in that next group and trying to finish as the best of the rest. Now, I see it like this, in no particular order. City, Arsenal, Liverpool, Chelsea. I think that's the four. I think most people realise they've spent all the money. They're going to be the four. Football is weird. As Manny said, things can happen, but there's the four. The next group of four for me, at the moment, I'm not sure we're in it without the Stardust. Let's assume we've got Eze and we've got Savio. Now that next group for me is Newcastle, Villa, Spurs and Man United. That's the next four.
You forgot about United, you know, you're spot on.
Right? Because Man United have now just bought goals.
And they're playing once a week as well.
And they're playing once a week. And if they then go and get Belieber, for example, right, now they're building a tasty team. Then I think after that, you have your Nottingham Forests, your Palace, your Fulham, your Bournemouths. Right?
I'll have to challenge that Nottingham Forest take, Savva, and tell they've played 8 games. They scored 1 goal, and in that goal they lost 3-1.
Yeah, sure.
But the thing is, you know Wolf is coming.
The thing is, they're buying players, yeah. And pre-season for me, we've got to be very careful when we predict a club's league position based on pre-season. Because the best pre-season I ever saw was in 2008, right? 2008, we were battered. I think we beat Roma like 8-1 or 7-0 or something. We battered someone else 5-0, like Leverkusen or something. We were battering everyone. And then we started the season with 8 games, 6 defeats and 2 draws. So, look, for me, I'm more worried about those first 2 groups. I think this year, if we get 5th this year, this is the caveat with Eze and Savio, right? 5th, I think, would be an absolute fantastic season. From 17th to 5th would be absolutely amazing. 6th is not the end of the world, but obviously doesn't give it a Champions League. 7th, all depends on injuries and yada, 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 yada. I don't want to be outside that top 7 next season. In any way, shape or form, we should not be. As it stands right now, guys, I think we will be outside that top 7 purely because I don't think we've got the creativity, and you can't play like you did last night every week. You can't. You can't have 24% of the ball every week and think that you're going to finish in the top 6 or 7. So that's only my thoughts, guys. That's just my thoughts.
I'm sorry. Go on, Philly.
No, I was going to say I agree with your stance. I agree with your take. That's the thing about coaching, yeah. And you're gonna have highs and lows, man. And it depends on the team. And I want to see how we set up against different teams, because not every team plays the same way. So you can't use the same tactics in every single game. This is why I'm looking to see a manager, finally play chess, instead of playing checkers. I want to see what this manager can do, and so I'm going to give him the time and space to do that. And like I say, with Pochettino, remember how long he took, and he was a slow burner, dude. It took time. It took months for the players to understand his philosophy and his ways of playing. So I'm going to give Frank that time and space to do that. I'm not expecting miracles from day one. And top 4, no, I'm not looking for that. Top 5, if anything above any Champions League position, it's a benefit. It's a bonus, dude. I want it, because this is a year where he's going to have to look at that squad, identify what he needs, what players he trusts, and see how they actually adjust to his system.
Mm.
No, spot on.
Focus
Spot on.
shouldn't be on Frank, even though I'm not a fan of his. I don't know why you wouldn't be a fan of a coach, but okay, each to their own. Each to their own.
I'm really surprised because obviously I've always as everyone knows that watches your show, I've always been the person who's spearheaded the give Ange time brigade. But even myself, seeing yesterday again, it started from the press conference that he had. Sorry, the interview he had pre-game, where he said, "Listen, it's a privilege for us to be here." But at the same time, he said, but we need to embrace this challenge. I love that. And then, when he came out of the tunnel and you could see the eagerness that he had, his body language, I was like, this is exactly what you want to, invest yourself in. You know what I mean? And to me, he started well. He's showing exactly why he is where he is. So it's all about, one, yes, giving him time. Two, Levy, I know you watch Savva's shows, giving him quality, right? And then three, just the team also buying into his different tactical nuances, which seems like they are at the moment. So 100% on the point that you made, Savva. Yeah, I do think, that the first four, unless someone has an absolutely disastrous season, which after what they've also then spent this season, I don't see it, right?
Yeah, me too.
I think we are obviously, you'd have seen that we are now entering into actual proper club to club talk with Palace on Eze, and then hopefully the Savinho thing. I think we will be in and around that mix, but spot on. We won't be able to play the way we've played today every single game. I don't think Frank would be wanting to play that way anyway. But my issue is more on the injury side. We get any other injuries, who comes on, who comes in to replace, which is why we do need that backup to solidify us a bit, to get us to the point where the likes of Dragishin is back, Kulu is back, and all these players, because it's a lot of games. It's a lot of games. We're playing Champions League, elite level, playing Premier League, elite level. We're playing
Mhm.
FA Cup. The more you go, the further you go, you get to the elite level, and then with the Carabao Cup as well is the same. So I think we need those two, and then let's see if they surprise us before the end of the transfer window.
I just find it funny that people see the drop off, like what happens last night, but then still say things like we're a shoe-in for fourth. And you're like, guys, all it's going to take is 3 or 4 injuries. And these are the players that are going to be playing for months. So, the other clubs don't have that. Now, by the way, somebody said in the chat, I'm not saying Newcastle and Villa have done anything breathtaking in the window, but they've also not lost anyone. If you really look at it right now, Aston Villa haven't lost anyone. I suppose you could say they've replaced Rashford with Evan Gusand, right? If you look at it, Newcastle at the moment haven't lost anyone and have added Thiaw at the back, Alanga on the right wing, Jacob Ramsey's coming in. So they're filling out their squad ready for a Champions League campaign, because you know what? You need numbers. Not every player is going to be a superstar, but you need numbers. You need bodies. Do you know what I mean? And I don't think we've got that in any way, shape, or form.
Yeah, but
Any way, shape, or form.
Yeah, but the sadness is, Savva, that's been Tottenham's Achilles heel for so many years. We've not had strength in depth, even under Pochettino, even before Pochettino. We've never had strength in depth. The bench itself has always been weak, and you can see the natural drop off in the quality between the 11 and the bench. So it's the same now. This is what I said to you earlier in the chat when I said, it wasn't last night yet. When you look at it, wasn't that like the Chelsea game at the Pochettino? When you look at the bench and Chelsea can bring on Hazard, and then you've got players on the bench that you just know aren't the levels of them players there. And unfortunately for us, right, and this goes out to a lot of fans out there, right? I know you love to be Spurs supporters, but please get real, dude, right? It's about looking at it properly. Yes, it's nice to have youngsters like Archie Gray. Yes, it's nice to have players like Tell come into it. But are they ready for this level of football? I'm not being funny. It's a big golfing class between the Championship and the Champions League and the Europa League, right? It's a big golfing class from coming from the top of the Championship to coming to the top of the Premier League, where you're competing with the best in that league. There is a reason that the 3 promoted teams go back down again, and that is because there's a golfing class between the Championship and the Premier League. So if you're expecting players to be coming from those clubs here and coming and pulling up trees at Spurs straight away, they're not going to do it. Right? Yes, they need to be given time. Yes, they're young, but it's not our fault as fans here that the club have chosen to bring in these players of this age. They need to go out and loan and find a position and lock down that position as well. And this is why I said Archie Gray, yeah, he didn't even have a position at Leeds. They played him half his games in centre midfield. They played half his games at right back. Last season, he was all over the defence, every position except for his own position. So at this level of competition, he's going to struggle, dude, because he's never had a position locked down yet. So I'm giving him the time, but I want him to go out and loan. For the best for his career is to go out and loan and get the game time that he needs to find a steady position and lock it down. And that's all I will say about Archie Gray again. And that's a lot of youngsters need to do that. This is why when you look at the likes of, let's bring Donnelly in, brother, he's not ready for this level. And if you bring him in this level and he's not ready for it, you could break him as a player. And that's not what I want to see.
Listen, I'm going to wrap up in a minute, but by the way, just quickly, by the way, when I mentioned Jacob Ramsey, everybody, I'm so sure that these don't work on so many people. I never said I wanted Jacob Ramsey. I never said, wow, what an amazing signing. All I said was Newcastle are filling out their squad. That's all I said. All I said was at the moment, they've not lost anyone, and they've added Alanga on the right. They've added Ramsey to their mid. I don't think Ramsey goes in there and is an immediate first teamer, but as a rotational player, I think he does well for them in Europe. You've got Thiaw as another option at centre half, Ramsdale as a backup goalkeeper. You know. All I'm saying is you've got to pad it out, and what they've done is they've not padded it out with kids. Alanga's not a kid. Ramsey's not a kid. Thiaw is not a kid. Ramsdale's not a kid. Problem is with Spurs, we pad out with a lot of kids. So
they've got strength in depth, Savva. They've got strength in depth, and that's something that, like I said, Tottenham have never had strength in depth. So when they've got different options, so the manager themselves, I sent one to you long ago, the Arsenal team. Look at the different competition and different players that you can throw in there. Players don't know, other teams don't know how to set up against them because you don't know who's going to play from week to week. But at Tottenham, you can actually plan ahead and actually look at the team and think, you know what, this is the likelihood we're going to play this team today. So you can actually strategize and plan ahead when you play Tottenham. But when you play Man City or when you play Newcastle right now, you don't know who's going to play. So you don't know how to set up from them. So you're actually learning as the game is going on. And that's something that needs to be said.
Yeah, look, absolutely. Look, we'll see what happens. I'm going to end it there. I am going to just do some super chats now. I'm going to take you all over to Never a Foul with me. Big up to Henry Fong TV. Said I'm loving the long throws. More Danso starts. It's. Do you know what? I see people going, oh, you resorted to long throws and said, Pete, I don't think there's anything wrong with adding that to your arsenal. No pun intended. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. The more strings you've got to your bow, the better. Big up to you, Henry Fong. I appreciate that. Big up to Anthony Jones, who's become a YouTube member. Big up to you, my man. Keep a watch out for the channel member only shows. Big up to you, my man. Thank you very, very much. Thanking you. Welcome on board. Big up to Big Country Chris, who said, let's get behind Tell. He's just a kid. He needs us. Listen, I don't think it's about just getting behind Tell. I hear this a lot. I'll get behind him from the racism standpoint because that's disgusting. As a footballer, I'm sorry, I just don't rate him. And these are two very different subjects. The colour of his skin and the ability on a football pitch for me aren't the night and day, right? Night and day. So but big up to you. I appreciate that. Big up to Jakey, who said, we will go again. My gaffer, my club. Big up Savva. Listen, my gaffer. I love this bloke. I'm a huge fan of Thomas Frank. Let's do it. Big up to you, my man. Thank you very, very much, Jakey. Lee has become a channel member as well. Lee, the man. Thank you very much, Lee. Really appreciate you, my friend. Very, very generous for becoming a member. Welcome to the channel member only shows as well. Big up to Jakey, who said, sounds like Eze for 55-60. Mate, I'll be honest, I don't care if that says 77. I don't care what it costs. Get the man through the door. Absolutely, Jakey. Please, let's get this done. Big up to you, my man. Big up to Phil Coys. Phil, you're going to need to save this money for when you lose your terrible bet. The worst opinions in football, as Phil Coys, but I love him. He's a great guy. Much love, dude. Thank you very much.
I agree. I agree with you 100%. I think only Matty K has worse takes than Phil Coys.
Oh,
mate,
Matty K's got the worst football. Oh, my God. Where is Matty K? Call him Matty K. Big up to Alan Shug Knight. Said, I love the way you started the show by calling out the racists. Unfortunately, I've witnessed with some of our fans. Also sad to see YouTubers posting pictures of Ange holding the trophy. Back Frank. Yeah, I agree. I 100% agree. I think it's really sad that people have used this opportunity of not winning the trophy to talk about Ange again winning a Europa League. Ange was here for 2 years, had £400 million and 2 years to work with the team and still lost 26 games in a season. This manager has one competitive game and already he's being mocked. Absolutely disgusting. Big up Alan Shug Knight. Really appreciate you. I'm going to leave it there. I'm going to head off to Never a Foul. Much love. Please tune into the Spurs 5 later on tonight. Love you all. Take care.
Wait a minute. Can I just do one thing? I'm going to do this now for Rinketic. Come over to my channel as well, Blockbuster Movies, Games and Videos. Smash a like and subscribe. We're doing Talks Football on our channel, but we do like to have a laugh and a joke as well. So back to you, Savva, and Never a Foul. Sorry, bro. I just wanted to promote the channel up quick.
No, you're all good, man. Please get over there and subscribe. I'll see you over at Never a Foul. When you get there, just say Savva Raid. Thank you. Much love. And as always, come on, you Spurs.